What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Dwarvish Slumber Party here. I apologize, but we're doing these episodes back to back. At least that's how I'm recording them. They may not be uploaded in that order, but that's how I'm recording them. Now, in the previous episode, we had worked on our crafting tree a little bit. We had done some of that kind of banal or mundane type stuff, and now we're going to continue working on this mining down here, I think. We're going to try and get all of this, I suppose, augured out if we can. Let's go after all this, too. There we are. Once you've got all that queued up, I'll start looking for other options. I've also been wanting to get going down here to the bottom of the map in this red dirt. It looks like they did go through... Oh dear. Nobody fell down this, did they? Looks like we've hit some sort of chasm. Alright, well there's spiders in the chasm, which automatically makes me not want to go down there. I don't trust the tree nearly enough to test that one out. However, we may be able to come up with some possible solutions. I don't know. I mean, I think the spiders are pushovers from what I remember, so I'm not uber worried about it right now. Let's go back and take a look at our crafting tree, figure out what we've got the parts for and what we don't have the parts for. Ah, the steel helmet. We've already made one, but we've got to equip it on somebody, so let's put it on somebody's cranium here. Let's adorn the sagittal crest of one of our dwarves with this awesome helmet. I'm gonna give it to the archer. Yeah, did he just put on... Hold on. What? Oh, okay, he wears glasses all the time. I thought the helmet came with glasses. Like, oh, so does it come with the eyepieces too? I guess not. How good is that, by the way? Let me see. It does 4 armor. That's not, like, incredible. It's alright. It's a smidge better. I mean, we're moving up in tiny iotas here. Before we consider it any further, though, we do need to come up with a solution for our wood shortage. There's some wood over there, and I'm gonna wait for some of the trees to repop. Yeah, that's what I like to see right there. We've got a couple of trees popping in right there. Some of the bushes have regrown, which is very, very disappointing. Somebody's under attack right now. Who is under attack? I'm confusionated. Well, I guess nobody's under attack. That or they already slew it, which is good dwarfing. It's a very good dwarfing. It's a swimmer book right there. It looks like we've got some more mithril up over there. Or maybe silver. I don't know. It all looks the same to me. Oh, there's a bunch right here, too, so maybe we should hit this up. Let's get all of that out of there. And then we'll start a secondary shaft right here that'll maybe go down to there. Oh no, we need to keep it on the level. Never mind. So I guess we'll continue burrowing this way. There's going to be a sand cave-in, but we'll handle that once we cross the bridge. The bridge of sandy collapsing. That seems like a bridge that I would never want to cross. If you were driving along in your car and then all of a sudden you saw a sign that was like, approaching the bridge of sandy collapsing, I'd be like, yeah, that is poorly named. I don't think I'm going to pay the toll on that one. Let's take the detour. And if there wasn't, I don't see that city getting a whole lot of car traffic or foot traffic or bike traffic or whatever traffic. Let's bulldoze some of those crystals that are growing a little bit too aggressively inside of our base. And back to the crafting tree. We can now do the steel armor, which is going to be pretty badass. It does 7 armor. It's not amazing, but it's better than what we have on hand already. How do we make ourselves more steel, by the way? I've already forgotten. It takes coal, and it takes us some iron. I think I should probably get a bunch of steel on hand then. Let's convert the iron that we have at the moment, not all of it, mind you, but some of it. We're going to get 2 steel bars out. Okay, well, at least there's that to consider. Maybe leave 5 iron for later, but the rest is going to be converted into steel. We do have to take the time out to smelt that, unfortunately, so we're going to have a little bit of a hiatus before we can go further on down the tech tree. Let's have a look. And we'll just craft our first steel armor to get it out of the way, so at least... I've hit the wrong thing. No! We've hit a wall. That's my sound of masculinity right there. When I'm trying to exert my masculinity, that's the sound I make. I feel it converts us. It convinces people pretty well. I did it again. Damn it. Stop that. Stop that right now. I hate you. You're making me upset. There we are. We've used up all of our steel and 1 coal. Bam, and we've got ourselves a steel chest piece, which was... Did I craft that already? Okay, good. It needs to be made already. Fantastic. That's going to keep on going down there. It doesn't look like one of our guys has a mining pick, which is disappointing. You pan and scan through here and make sure that everybody has an iron pick. Why was he... Oh, he was using the dagger instead of an axe, possibly. So maybe I'll just give him an axe since it's better than what we have. I haven't made an iron axe in a while, and I don't really plan on it, so he's just going to have to use our Paleozoic tools. We also need some shoes. Where are the shoes at? Doesn't look like we have any. Weak. Super, super weak. Well, we've got a Yatagan, so let's give a Yatagan to somebody because that thing does a ton of damage. We will give it to this guy, and we'll just keep passing that super awesome mithril sword, or the silver sword. We'll keep on passing that down the pipe since it's not quite as good as the Yatagan. Alright, so we're slowly re-equipping our civilization. I'd like to see us get very, very well equipped in the future so that we can go down to the bottom layers without any punctuations. I'd like to keep it like syncopated. I'd like to get a rhythm going, but no punctuation. I'd like to have like a dut thing type going as we go down into the bottom. Oh good, we've collapsed. Well, then maybe you should whine your way out, pal. Don't just sit there kind of contemplating what you might be doing. Do it. Over here it looks like we've got a bunch more sand to be dealt with. I'm gonna have to put in some scaffoldings to deal with all of that right there. So let's put those back in their place and then we'll mine that 3-bit out. That's a quick term that I just made up. The 3-bit, you know, sometimes you gotta make up a term for the thing you're trying to mine. You never know. Put some scaffoldings in here too so that they can work a little bit quicker. It might also be useful to maybe put in a teleport. That might help. Let's do a teleport for now. I think that'll allow people to get to and from the stockpile at a much more rapid pace. Muy rápido. What else do I have going on? I needed to build ladders, but we need wood. Let me have a look around and see what we've been doing with regards to trees. So there are some trees over there. Ah, we've got a couple right here. So let's kill off some of these piggies. And then we'll get to work lumberjacking, which is the manliest of manly jobs. Lumberjacking. That's the kind of job that I think really just puts hair on your chest. Even if you're a woman, just cover your chest with hair thoroughly. Now then, that's not going to grow very tall. I think it's only going to get up to here, so we'll chop that when we get the chance. We'll have them get going right there. We'll get rid of some of that. I thought I queued that up already. It appears as though I have not. Let's replace everything on the map with dirt so that we have more surfaces across which we can get the job done for lumberjacking. I can't do that right there, but I can go to right here. In fact, I could probably make this a little bit easier by just doing this. We're going to terraform. It's medieval times, and terraforming might be difficult, but we're still going to try it. That guy right there is not ready to go yet. He's still got one more layer to pop up through before I feel comfortable felling him for my further use. Got 84 wood right there. Let's make ourselves a couple of ladders. Like maybe take our wood supply down to 20? Okay, so the 31, oh, we have 42, even better. We're going to be doing a lot of delving in the near future, so I feel like ladders are an applicable thing to have on hand when we start to do that. We will kind of spread out and grab all this stuff as we go downwards. Then I'll queue them up to wipe that out right there. Hertar indeed. And then here we're going to go slowly and try and figure out what's down in there without getting our asses bit off. I'd prefer to keep ourselves unanally fanged right now. That is not where fangs go. They go in your mouth and they go into your food. But at the point at which my ass becomes your food, I must ask you, I must request cordially that you keep them away from me and out of my squishy bits. Let's drop a torch right there. That seems fine. It's out of the way. And then we just wait for the work to get done. Might be worthwhile to put a teleporter right there too to speed up the process. We've got loads and loads of mana sitting around right now, so I'm not worried. I sincerely hope they don't all get themselves. Maybe I should unflag him till later. Yeah, I was concerned about that. Let's dig that out really rapidly. They have a chance to fall when they're climbing up these sheer surfaces. And I'm hoping that's not what they decide to do. I mean, they may not decide to do it, but it may happen either way. Shh, don't tell them. If they find out that there's a serious altitude problem right here where they could fall to their dwarfy death, like so. Luckily, they have pillowy asses, so I feel like when they hit the ground, it'll just kind of do like a and they'll just kind of land on it, and it'll be perfectly fine. However, I would really, really like them to put in the ladders if they could manage it. I've moved my ladders around. I needed one more ladder, and nary a ladder to be found. Let me take that. There we go. For the remainder of this layer, how are we doing off on this side? I know we're doing a lot of work over here. There's a lot of things that need to be done. But at the moment, is it getting done? Okay, so we can shift the scaffolds over just a smidgen. We'll put them right there. Good. Oh, he's running from a zombie because he's about to get bit and eaten, I guess. Let me take manual control of him, and we're going to have to run the blockade. Oh, you made it without getting hit. My hero. He's such an amazing runner. This guy, he's got a really bad self-esteem, so you've got to make sure that you compliment him whenever he wants it. I mean, it's getting a little tiresome. Like, sometimes I feel as though he's fishing for compliments, which it would be sort of weird right now if... Let me release him. And let me take a look at this dwarf. I'm trying to make a joke right now, but I want to make sure it's going to work. Oh, I was going to say he's fishing for compliments, but he's not a fisherman, so the joke is ruined. Thorn, get out of my sight. You're dead to me. I need to send some of these guys to go sleep. Namely, Dwayne. And maybe him. Yeah, let's send Dwayne. We'll also send Thorin. And we'll send Bomber, too. They broke down my door already? I thought those doors were going to be better. I thought they were going to do way, way better, and they're doing way, way worse. Weak. Everyone else is looking sort of okay. Let's drop that control right there. And because there's so many guys sitting around over there, I'm a little terrified to get into a fist fight right now, or a sword fight. It's a fist fight for them, but it's a sword fight for me. You know how it goes. Oh, and now they're going to burn up from the sun, even though they're indoors. We've got another door that's being taken away from where I want it to be deployed, and so our deployment is deployed. Our deployment is delayed. I can say it. It's a tongue twister, but I swear I can get through it. Now then. There's a little bit of refuse iron that I could use right there, but I'm going to back off it for now. Let's make sure that we get torches in here because I don't want to deal with vines growing. I would hate to have to deal with that right now because they really are a nuisance. Torches, there you are. Let's take the torches, and what I'd like to do is we'll put one right there, one right there. They're a little bit higher, but I dug out the ground, so I'm sort of suffering for it now. The long-suffering job of being a dwarf foreman. Sounds like a product that maybe George Foreman could, like... It would be called a dwarf foreman, but really it would just be a really, really small foreman that only goes up to, like, your knee. And it would be for the dwarves in all these places so that they could have electrical grilling at a moment's notice, and they could also squeeze the fat out of it. How crazy would that be? We could start losing a little bit of weight around here. Not that I would wish that on anybody. I just started, oh my god, I just got done with my holidays weigh-in, and I gained, like, 8 pounds over the holidays, and I was like, well, I run every single day, but now I'm, like, cutting back. I'm eating a lot of oatmeal, trying to stay away from, you know, like... dark meats and things like that. Just trying to keep myself lean right now, and I feel as though I'm punishing myself for exploring the joys of Christmas and Thanksgiving back to back. Oh my god, they regrew. I'm so happy with these trees right now. These trees are not happy with me though. I'm about to swing sharp objects in their direction, and as they fall over, they'll be like, why? And they'll be really, really upset about it. I'm gonna kill these bushes while we're over here. While we have the teleport open, we may as well. A little bit more dirt needs to get laid over there, giggity. I'll put some dirt in there. Amazing. I'm gonna leave my little aquifer here for the moment because I would like it to be a catch-all for the things that I like. Namely water. Gotta keep yourself hydrated. You don't want to end up with that orangey pee. That's like when you get people out in the field. As a geologist, you're like, listen, if your pee is orange, I can't save you right now. You're pretty much dead already. You gotta be drinking that water. You can't have the weird colored pee. We as geologists, we don't shy away from talking about our pee with other human beings. We talk about it freely. It's an open breakfast conversation, like, how was your pee looking this morning? So if you ever get into geology, just be aware you may be forced to field some questions about your, I guess, I don't know. I don't even have the words right now. Your urinary situation. Let's go over here, and we're going to chop down some of this coal, and I realize they can't get at it just yet. Let me cancel that torch. Let's see if we can pull it off like so. Awesome. We've got another melee book. I don't think that's a swordsman book, though. I think that's something completely and totally different. Let's go to our equipment menu and we'll eyeball it for a second. Increases the damage inflicted by cold weaponry in close combat, as opposed to hot weaponry. Do we get guns later on? Would that count as hot weaponry? It has a flame involved. Let's see what it does with this guy. I mean, he's already our resident warrior, so yeah, I gave him more swordsman skill. I thought it was called a swordsman book, but it does have a sword on the book, so maybe I'm just being obtuse right now. I'm being dense. Give them a teleport down and in there so that they can do their job quicker. And with a bit more vigor. I prefer my dwarves to be vigorous in all their activities. All their activities. Have we laid down all this ladder yet? We haven't. Okay, so we'll put another one over here. And then we'll get going on all of this ladder. It's playing the scary, grumpy music right now. That's a technical term. The skumpy music, that's what we can call it. Or the grary music. That's a tough word to say, though. That's like the rural juror of terminology. So I think I'm going to stick with the skumpy. I think that sounds better. He's over here firing arrows at his foe, and he's stabbing him. Down he goes in the play-by-play. There are still some wooden pine cones left to be had, but I think I'm just going to let them roam. I'm no longer going to deploy any for... What is this, guys? What is going on over here? I'm a wee bit confused as to what's occurring. Well, at least they can climb up to teleports now. That's something they tried to avoid in the past. I'll take it, though. Let's chop out all that. I thought that was a background right there, so I'll apologize for not mining properly. We're going to get rid of this and this. And maybe those two, and then we'll put in another scaffold. We'll just drop that on top so that it slides right into place the way that we want it to. I'm going to leave that where it's at. We'll continue digging there. All of that gold needs to be ours. We haven't made use of any of our gold yet as far as I know. Let's get back to our crafting tree since we have a pretty long queue to be handled. Oh, we didn't equip our steel armor on anybody. How disappointing. No. Steel armor. Let me throw that on you. He definitely looks more badass. He's got like a Fallout thing going on right now where I feel like if I shoot bullets at him that aren't armor piercing, like if they don't have the +P on them, I feel like I'm wasting my time. Just in case the goblins decide to militarize in a nasty fashion, they start to figure out our weaknesses and fire projectiles at them. I'll be honest, my weakness is the groin. You hit me there and I'm done. I'm out. I tap out. I quit. I am all dunsies. Also, getting hit in the nose kind of sucks because then your eyes water up. I mean, I'm not crying. I'm totally not crying. It's my eyes watering, I swear. Don't judge me. It hurts. Ladder? Are you done yet, ladder? God, I feel like we're delving so deep into the ground at this point where it's really taking a long time for any of our work orders to get done. Then again, I may have just queued up too much stuff for them to do. Their workload, too hefty right now. We can do a spire. I don't really want to build a spire, but seeing as it's part of our possible build queue, I suppose I will. Clay. And some stone. Fantastic. We've got a spire, and we've got to place it somewhere right now. Let me pan through and make sure that we've hit every single recipe for every... Iron booties. All right. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a bunch of these, because I know we've been out. You only get one. Weak. Well, we need a bunch of shoes, so we'll get those going. Are those going to have to be crafted as well? I would assume they would. God, everything is adding to a work queue right now, which makes the whole game just slow down tremendously. It makes everything hit sort of a loping gallop. Our door has been busted down again. I'm going to put it back in place so that I can use it in the future. And I think I'm going to back off of giving them any more work orders for now. I feel sort of like I'm wasting my time here. Now on this side, to make everything be more contiguous, I'll make the wall be this tall on this side so that this little divot right here doesn't look... Do I have a tree growing? I thought that was a tree growing out of a tree. Oh, that's what it does. If you zoom too far out, it's a tree growing out of the top of a tree. Who would have thunkinated it? I hear a lot of clucking, but not a whole lot of gathering. In any sense, let's set out to figure out what our goals are. Now, obviously, we're going to continue to go down the tech tree. That's the big goal that you try and transpire over the course of the game. You really want to ascend that thing, although you're moving right, so I don't count it as an ascension. It's more of a traversion, I guess. But, kind of specificity and nomenclature aside, I feel as though we do need to keep headway there. We've dug deeper. The fact of the matter is, though, we can't get the ladders laid down quick enough to get down to this baseline level, which in this episode, I had made plans to get down here and fight with any of the nasty beasties. Oh my god, what in the hell is that? It flaps, which I suppose is better than it faps, because then I wouldn't want to go anywhere near it, but, well, if you listen to the sound effect, it could be interpreted that way. I don't like this level of the dungeon at all. Be careful, gentlemen. There's a flapping monster down below. There's a wedding monster? Every dwarf gets instantly interested. Like, hold on, did we take pictures? Do we have any verification of this? We need some scientific documentation. It gets lonely around the nerd castle here. I want to grab that. which is in the background, so that shouldn't affect me at all. Well, I suppose if we get ourselves into combat with that enormous dragon, it may wipe us out. I'm not sure how strong that thing is, and it's a little terrifying, so, you know, let's assign people to go to bed. Because I do feel as though maximum HP is probably what we want for when that thing decides to square up with us. If it decides to put its dukes up, we've got to do likewise, because if someone chooses you, you got to answer the call. So goes the code. Or you can run away, just be like, "Hee!" and run away. I do that. It hasn't gained me a whole lot of fame, like in my local neighborhood. It hasn't worked out very well for me. That's the only reason that I would try and like steer you in a different direction. That sound is probably not going to gain you a whole lot of drinking buddies. Jesus, pig. That pig is like, I have a complaint and I am going to voice it right now. I feel as though I've misplaced that portal. There we are. They can't climb to that one, unfortunately. We should hear the dun 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 kick in any moment, because we have an invasion coming in 15 seconds. I find it unique how they get that timed with the nighttime every single time, although, never mind, I was gonna be like, that must have been really complicated, but now that I think about it, they could just make like the days and nights specifically 45 minutes. Hadn't thought about it, or it could be more complicated than that, where it just kind of syncs up with whatever the proper nighttime is. I feel like they're spawning from this side a lot more frequently. Time to square up. Let's see what happens here. And he gets almost beat to death, but at least he took a couple with him before he went down. We need our Yatta gangsters to get over here. There he is. Yatta gangster number 1 and Yatta gangster number 2. They got their pimp coast, they got their Yatta gans, they're ready to roll. You gotta kill somebody here. Just don't let them come through the door. All these guys are like, I really don't see the sense of running in here. I mean, we've got somebody that's shooting some arrows, so I think we could kind of stand back. I'm seeing some operational failures here. Yeah, well, when I give you an order, you get in there and you stabbity stab stab stab. But he's covered in pustules. It doesn't matter. Stab him anyways. Just try and cut around those, I guess. It's like gutting roadkill. You just kind of cut around that. Am I exposing my lifestyle too much? In either case, we saved our iron door, which I'm sure he's appreciative. I imagine an iron door would have like a robot voice. If I was feeling more ingenious, I would kind of edit myself in saying something with a robot voice, but you know, maybe in the future. Maybe sometime later. I don't have a lot of voice filters right now. I had Pro Tools for a while, and I still do. I just haven't set up my recording studio, so I have all kinds of plugins and fun stuff that I use when I'm recording people. But haven't reset it up. Ever since I started Let's Playing, this has been eating up all my time, and I haven't recorded like anything since then. Let's Playing has taken up a tremendous amount of time because I enjoy it. It's doing my favorite thing and then talking to you guys at the same time. I think we should get at some of this iron right here. I'm going to drop in some scaffolds and let's dig our way up and see if we can get there. I need more iron. Our iron supply would probably... Let's take a look, actually, and I can give you a 100%... Yeah, we have 3 iron ore right now. That's pretty abysmal. That's awful. That's bottom tier. That is not jolly good, my good man. That is jolly goddamn terrible. Let's get rid of some of this right here. If you pardon my French. And I don't know if I want to go out this way. I don't see anything there, but I would like to burrow up to this, and it looks like it's too far to go downwards to it, so we'll think about that. I believe... It looks like we killed our cave pig. He was sort of a mascot for all of us, and I'm disappointed. He was a good pig while he lasted. But he dug too deeply and too greedily, and then we had to put him out of his piggy misery. Because piggies are miserable, miserable creatures. It's because they found out they have no souls. Ask any pig. It was in the memo. They're like, oh yeah, we found out about that last Wednesday. We have no souls. Chat about it, joke about it all you want, but the fact of the matter is we just don't have them. They don't exist inside of us. I don't know how we scientifically verified that. I would assume that there's some kind of like scanner, like a solocator. But... somehow a scientist came along and was like, me, 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 me. That's the sound that I think a solocator makes. And then, just to clarify, and they found out pigs have no souls, and so we gotta go down there and we gotta stab them repeatedly because they're getting too greedy. I believe I'm gonna break off the episode here because I'm feeling a wee bit tired today, and I feel as though my commentary is going to recede in the face of new content, so I think I'm gonna stop here. Thank you for joining me at the Nerd Castle for another episode of Craft the World. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care out there, everybody, and I bid you adieu and farewell.